More pugs. So I got a request today from War Master Anon, and this is for SCP-030. I can't read. 054, the Water Nymph. And this is done by SCP Orientation. Now, I've been following SCP for a while now. It's been a bit since I've been able to check anything out from it, mostly because of time constraints, because a lot of the ones that you guys have requested over the past, couple of months have all been very, very long. I'm going to be trying to do more of those, to be honest with you guys, but there's been a lot of noise back here in the past couple of weeks, so I'm doing the best I can. I'll be trying, I promise. But this is the Water Nymph. I have been a particular fan of the lower numbers for SCP for quite some time now. Some of my favorite SCPs are 200 and below, that I have seen. You got the Shy Guy, you have the Malicious AI, you have Peanut, which I say I like, but at the same time I hate him every single time I see him in a game because he wrecks my stuff. There's the Plague Doctor. I mean, come on, man. It's some of the best that I've seen. So, and I don't know why that is. I guess it's because when these were being filled out, it was kind of the Wild Wild West for SCP. It was kind of there was very little rules, there was very little anything. And so you had people coming up with stuff just complete originality on display. So we're going to check this out. And we'll just go from there. Warpugs, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. And frankly, I think this weekend I'm going to dive back into SCP. Anyhow, let's get into it. You have been warned.
Item number SCP-054. Object class safe.
Okay.
Special containment procedures. Subject is held in a watertight isolation room, outfitted with specialized climate control equipment. An ornate fountain filled with water stands in the center of the enclosure. Maintenance personnel are required to wear NBC suits while inside the containment area, and must spend 10 minutes in a special drying room after exiting. In the event of a breach, the surrounding area should be evacuated, and the enclosure flushed with liquid nitrogen.
Okay.
The fountain's chemical levels and volume are to be monitored and maintained. Spring water from should be used, as SCP-054 is highly sensitive to hydrological conditions. SCP-054 has developed a mistrust for human males during its confinement.
Nice.
Thus, assignment of female personnel is recommended. Description: out of the water, the subject most often appears as a female humanoid, with a mean volume of 90 liters, comprised entirely of water. Other forms are possible, commonly geometric shapes.
Okay.
When it enters a body of water, it becomes indistinguishable from its surroundings. The subject must periodically return to a body of water in order to maintain its volume due to evaporation.
Makes sense.
Initially found in... It was moved to Site-08 for further study. Subject was initially curious about Foundation personnel, and seemed to enjoy interacting with maintenance staff and researchers, and mimicking their forms.
I'm guessing they screwed this up.
After a number of weeks, the creature apparently felt comfortable enough to remain out of the water during routine monitoring, though it retreated when attempts were made to study its composition. SCP-054 is apparently composed of normal water, with no detectable differences compared to ordinary spring water from the same source.
Huh.
No thermal, electromagnetic, biological, or other phenomenon has ever been detected in its body that would suggest how it animates. Water lost by SCP-054 to evaporation exhibits no special properties when condensed. Experiments with SCP-054 were halted following data expunged, 2 researchers injured.
Huh.
After this incident, containment protocols were updated. Subject thereafter exhibited signs of mistrust and aggression around male personnel, which made up the majority of the original research staff.
They screwed with it.
Subject reclassified Euclid. Partial transcripts. Audio Journal 054-A. Water loss experiment. Subject becomes withdrawn and inactive when denied access to water. Its compact shape is theorized to reduce surface area exposed to evaporation. For the first few days, it moved eagerly to greet anyone entering its enclosure and behaved excitably. Possibly indicates an understanding by the subject that we control its access to water supplies. Subject ceased this behavior yesterday, presumably in recognition that no help was forthcoming. Temperature extremes testing.
Dude.
We got authorization to attempt sub-zero testing this morning. The subject became lethargic as the temperature fell, and eventually froze completely. Spectroscopy of the ice crystal revealed no abnormalities. Ice chips were collected for study.
Dude!
This is in stark contrast to its behavior in the 95-degree tests, when it became aggressive and attempted to escape its enclosure.
Because you were
We've submitted a
bullying it.
work order to combine the climate control equipment with the subject's standard enclosure, as it has begun to resist efforts to transport it to experimental chambers with increasingly desperate behavior. Memory and conditioning evaluation. Subject has proven unexpectedly adept at navigating complex mazes and solving puzzles. Dr. Seskel has finally overcome the problem of motivating the subject by the application of electrical shocks and/or silica desiccants. He joked that we should have it trained to fetch in no time, and after observing his methods, I think he might be right.
Because you're torturing it, you ass.
Note: subject to be allowed a 48-hour recuperation period. It seemed to be lagging in its progress at the end of the week's experiments.
Really?
Acid-base incorporation experiment.
Dude.
Last log entry. I am starting with a 0.5 mole hydrogen chloride solution. I have no idea what will happen, but if this thing incorporates homeostatic mechanisms like I suspect, then we should get some insight into how it maintains its form. Temperature in the enclosure has been lowered to 278 Kelvin to help control 54's increasingly erratic behavior. Addendum 054-B. After 5 years with no incidents, subject rating has been downgraded to safe. On recommendation of Dr. Experiments will resume under the auspices of Biology Unit E7. Caution should still be exercised when interacting with subject. Lesson complete. If you missed the previous orientation, go watch SCP-053, Young Girl.
Seriously? The reason why it's acting that way is because you actively tortured it. That's why. You froze it, you boiled it, well, you came close to boiling it, and then you sit there and wonder why the thing becomes withdrawn? Do some math. Like, apparently the Foundation's supposed to be the best and brightest, right? Do some basic math. 1 + 1 = you're an idiot. Things like this with the Foundation really irritate me. Really irritate me. Because you managed to turn a non-hostile SCP into a hostile SCP. Congratulations, you win the Golden Duck. It's done. You win the Golden Duck. Congratulations, you're a moron. Ones like this irritate me. Ones like this actually irritate me. Because I know people would do this. I know scientists would do this. I know idiots would really do something like this to something they found. Because we've done it to each other. Why wouldn't we do it to something like this? I mean, in all honesty, things like this irritate me to no end because I know we would do it. I know we would do it. Warpugs, stuff like this makes me sad. Makes me sad in my soul. One of the best things about best things about SCP is not only does some of the creations mimic humanity in its worst and sometimes best form, and our hopes and dreams. Sometimes it gives us a real view into ourselves that is both sometimes inspiring, but other times downright depressing. And this is one of those. They took a perfectly harmless creature and they turned it hostile and gave it a reason to hate. What do you do with that? What do you even do with that? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to make sense. But then again, we have done this so many times. And we do it to ourselves, we do it to others. And it's amazing that the animal kingdom just hasn't risen up and just thrown us out. But that's just me. That's just me. War Pugs, I'm going to head out from here. I'm going to go get something to eat because, frankly, right now, I'm a little bit irritated at this because it's something we would do. We would take something we didn't understand and we'd poke it, freeze it, boil it, just to see what it would do. I need to get out of here. Leave a comment down below, War Bugs. And I'll catch you guys next time. Just might be. Why?